Action.
So some of the things you can do when you're starting to rehearse your work, especially if you haven't rehearsed your work before very much, or if you're brand new to trying to learn how to read in public, the first thing you can do is to check in with yourself and just get centered. Take a deep breath and check in with your whole body because your body is your instrument. And then the second thing you can do is to choose material you feel really comfortable with, material you are invested in, material you feel necessary, material you feel like you would like for us to know about, for us to experience, for us to connect with emotionally. So then after you check in with your body and you check in with your material, begin to think about the rehearsal process not as something you're going to do to get it right, not as something you're going to do to achieve some great perfection, but more a wallowing, a playground almost in messiness. The rehearsal by nature requires you, requires me, requires all of us to gather around in a messy sand pile and just start throwing things about, experimenting, getting messy, making mistakes, having fun like you did when you were in the sixth grade, or when you did when you were in the fourth grade, or maybe when you did yesterday when you were an adult and you just decided, why not? I'll throw all the papers in the air and let them fall down on top of me like rain. That's what a rehearsal is. The rehearsal is a time to make mistakes. Rehearsal is a time to throw yourself into the mistakes, and rather than seeing them as mistakes, seeing them as little windows, little portals of opportunity, little imaginative portals you can walk through and become someone else. So when you are rehearsing, it's a time for you to allow yourself to say goodbye to your internal critic, say goodbye to all those little doubts you have about, well, my work is not good enough. Say hello to your champion. You are there to do something really important, which is to create some kind of circumstance, do something really important, which is to create an imaginative story around the work you have spent so much time developing. So in the rehearsal process, another thing that's really good to do is invite somebody to join you, or maybe more than one person to join you, and everybody get together and throw those papers in the air and let that creativity rain down on you. In the rehearsal process, you want to do many, many, many things over a long, long period of time. One of the trip ups often people have, they think they have to accomplish it all in 15 minutes, or 20, or 30, or maybe accomplish it in 3 days. I suggest think about your rehearsal process like you think about living. It's something you do all the time. It's something you incorporate into your daily thinking. And then when you move into the formal place where you rehearse, which is an hour or two a day, which is an hour or two a day when you sit down to work the work. Think of that as an ongoing opportunity. Think of that as an ongoing opportunity in the same way that an artist goes into the studio and makes a painting or creates a wonderful image on a computer screen or develops some sort of, or sculpts some beautiful statue. So that's what you're doing with your rehearsal process. So let yourself relax. Let yourself be yourself. And if there's one thing that's very important about the rehearsal process, about your work in general, if you can somehow find your own style, and the way you find that is find out who you are. And that sounds difficult, but it's actually easier said than done. When I was a child, my mother said, the only thing I require of you is to be yourself. And in some ways, we all know that, even if it's been obscured by all sorts of experiences. So in the rehearsal process, go back to the sand pile, throw it in the air and let it rain down on you and have some fun. Treat yourself well, explore, experiment, revise, and above all, enjoy, and most especially, be yourself. So those are a few tips I'm offering you, and I look forward to a time when maybe our paths will cross. and we could sit down and throw some paper in the air and have it rain down on both of us face to face. So thanks and good luck in your next rehearsal.